Today, I have the privilege of being with Han Soto, who is one of the stars of the latest season of Cobra Kai. And he actually plays a very integral part in one of the characters' history. How are you doing today?
I'm good, bud. How are you?
I'm really good. Thank you. Do you want to tell us about your role?
Okay, so I'm not going to spoil it, right? So I will just say I play a very evil character. You don't want to cross paths with this guy. I am the reason probably why it's called Cobra Kai. How about that for a nice little hint?
Well,
If I used any other animal, it would be called, I don't know, Elephant Kai or something.
it seemed to work well with the way that it developed, and then almost the kind of the climatic part of that story.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, it all kind of comes together. Like, oh, that's where the snake.
Mm-hmm. They tied it in. They tied it in beautifully, and they do a great job in all seasons doing that. And I think that's what's attractive for the show is that you got our generation. I don't know how old you are, but you seem to be my age. But our generation, and then it bridges the gap with the new generation as well. And then being on Netflix, it just kind of just killed. Like 40, I think it was like 42 million viewership. It's crazy.
As soon as it made that jump over to Netflix, it was able to get that broader audience. How did you come across that role?
Typical. My agent put the call in to me and let me know that I had an audition. I was requested by the casting director to submit a tape because I've done stuff with him in the past, and I just put myself on tape and got booked off of tape. So that's kind of cool. I mean, it's really crazy to say. I'm super blessed that they didn't even have me come in and meet the producers or directors, because they were the creators of the show. So I think these guys know exactly what they want when they see it. And it helps that I spoke like 3-4 different dialects of Vietnamese. So
okay, that's really helpful. Yeah.
A lot of that scene was improv. Like they kind of let me rattle and just play. And a couple of things I just kind of my board that I was just taking that chirp off for, the little back support. I was in the trailer and I called him and said, "Hey, dude, how would you say this line in Vietnamese? Because we're old school Vietnamese, right?" So, and that's when we practice. Do we say it in Vietnamese or do we say it in like a broken English? Trying to learn English, and what you see is what I landed on.
Oh, okay. How do you prepare for a role where it's not necessarily like a title character, so it's not too much camera time, but at the same time, it's going to play an integral part in the overall story?
Well, you just take it as it comes, and like for me, if I'm even called for an audition, that's kind of like a nod to me as a creative. It's like, look, I trust you to come out and try for this role, and when you actually get the role, you just, it's a blessing because there are thousands of people who went for the role. I don't know how many people, but that's usually the number. 3+ thousand that they put this out to. Wow. And they single in on you, and it's just like, oh, awesome. But how do I prepare for it? I train pretty much every day on character development, and I have certain characters that are from certain regions that like certain things like cars and the way they eat and what they like to do for fun. So I have a lineup of about 18 to 20 different characters, and every experience I experienced in life, I try to see, I go, oh, that'd be kind of a cool character to play with. But a lot of it has like a little bit of me in it as well. So that way it's not so far-fetched, and I can just jump right into it. So there's been situations where I was on set, I brought one character there and they wanted something else, and I had him on deck. So I pretty much visually took that one I had on the script, put him away, and grabbed this one, placed it right on. And I did that in real time while they were filming. Yeah, like on the second take. And the second take, she was like, that's it right there. So, I don't have to go back and redevelop something if they ask for it. Like it's there. It's like muscle memory for me.
How was it? How did you guys film that whole setup? Was it outdoors? Was it an indoor green screen?
Yeah, it was outdoor in Atlanta. Yeah, and they recreated like the Vietnam jungle, man. They flew in a Chinook, like a real like working Chinook. Like it's not even a prop helicopter. They flew it in, and it was awesome. They did a great job making it feel like Vietnam, which just one less thing that we have to worry about as actors. We just walk right onto the set, you know.
I want to ask you a question. It's going to be a little bit out of context because of some things that we can't
Yeah,
talk
it's all
about.
good.
But were the snakes real?
Yeah.
Because it was a menacing looking pit, and I thought it was really cool.
Yeah, they were real. They had snake wranglers there, and oh yeah, the snakes had their own tent.
Oh, did they?
Heat, with heat lamps and everything. Yeah, because you don't want to, you know. Again, like I don't want to say anything to like ruin it for people who haven't watched it yet, but no, it's the wranglers were there and they were placed, and it was just a beautifully done set. I mean, it looked pretty treacherous down there, and so.
For you, what is it like to be now part of that Karate Kid Cobra Kai history?
Dude, blows my mind. Like I'm like living a dream right now. It's awesome because I grew up with that stuff. Like that's what, dude, that's one of my favorite like series. You know that I watched Goonies, Gremlins. Like I was that '80s kid, you know, and you know I rode bikes till the sun went down and that kind of stuff. We drank water out of the hose, you know. So disgusting. I don't even know how we're alive right now.
I think that's why we're alive, because we have extra bacteria.
Yeah, that's probably why I haven't, knock on wood, gotten COVID. I think that's our vaccine right there, man.
Yeah, a life adventures.
Yeah, building your immune system with all that stuff in the 80s.
Yes. So I want to ask you, being part of that story, the backstory for John Kreese, do you think that makes him a little bit more, you know, relatable as to the why he is the way he is, or do you still think it's no excuse for the way that he treats people in the present time, or even in the 80s?
You know, I get like mixed opinions on this, because to me, he's evil. Right. Like, that dude's mean, right? Like they're you know, sure, we had empathy for Johnny Lawrence when Cobra Kai started, and you see a lot of people shift from like LaRusso to Lawrence, and you know, it's how it's done, right? But man, Kreese is like, the guy's relentless. He represents everything that we're afraid of in bullies. You know, he can put on that mask where he acts like a nice guy, and you know who this guy is. You know he's full of shit. Excuse me, but like you know, he's not real, right? And he's really evil to begin with. But like, to be able to peer into his past to see why, I think we're just starting to unravel like some of the layers of Kreese. I hope there's more in season 4. But I think this was a great way to start it, like kind of kickstart why, you know, why he's like that.
Because I felt like Johnny, once he kind of was able to grow out of it and be like, okay, yeah, it's, you know, no mercy, but you know, there's a gray area there where
you grow out of it. Yeah.
And Kreese just seems you know, stuck.
Yeah.
And this is the way it is, and it's because of, you know, partially because of all of the events that went happen in Vietnam, which of course you're part of.
Yeah. It's I think a lot of the characters represent a lot of us in society. I think between the 3 characters, there is a lot of representation, like for the most of the people out there, because like Johnny was a bad guy. He learned from his past. I think he wants to kind of grow out of it. You know, Daniel was essentially not the bad guy, but he kind of was in a way. He did instigate a lot of that stuff, but like now his ego is just kind of like spiraling him into this, you know, I will never let you win kind of thing. And, you know, there are people out there like that. And Kreese, I mean, there are a lot of people probably in the penitentiary who represent him, you know, so it covers a wide array of humans in society, at least our society.
Well, what do you have going forward? What projects are you working on now? Maybe
you know, I'm busy with the distribution company. I have a distribution company with my producing partner, Andrew Vandenhouten. It's called Kamikaze Dogfight. And I'm continuing to audition for pretty big movies and TV shows, and I have Reminiscence is a movie that I have coming out in 2021 with Hugh Jackman. I play a lead role in a video game.
Oh, nice.
Can't talk about who is doing that, but that should be coming out this year, and it's going to be a big one. So
Good. We'll
Yeah.
have to look forward.
yeah,
to
it's
it.
my first time doing like motion capture. It's awesome.
And how's that experience for you?
It's amazing. It's amazing. It's a different type of acting, because you really have to have a sense of spatial, um, what the space is like, and pretend things are like this bottle right here. It wouldn't be a bottle. It would be like a PVC pipe with some dots on it.
Oh, okay.
And the magic is done in post with the animators. So to watch that kind of process, and I shot that. It took me like 2 years to shoot that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, stayed busy.
That's good.
Yeah.
Han, thank you so much for spending some time with me today. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, brother. Hope you get some good wine.